All right, good morning again. We're going to start in a seated posture today. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable in a cross-legged seat, elevating the hips if it's difficult to keep the spine straight. Let your hands just rest in your lap. And once you've arrived here, softly close your eyes. Always taking this time to bring awareness into the body and the breath before we start moving. Starting just by noticing the parts of you that are in contact with the floor. Feeling the weight of your pelvis connect to the earth or your prop. Sitting evenly through both the right and left side of the pelvis. Allowing your energy to root downward. Feel your ankles and the edges of your feet in contact with your mat. Let your toes relax. Feel your calf muscles soften as you allow the knees to gently draw down toward the ground. Feel the weight of your palms against your legs. If you notice any tension in the shoulders or the upper back, maybe you need to adjust the placement of your hands so that your shoulders can settle. Feeling your elbows draw down toward the ground. So finding this grounding energy in this pose. And then by contrast, start to feel an upward energy through your spinal column, lifting and lengthening you upward toward the ceiling. And in that process, engaging the lower and middle back muscles to support the posture. Feeling your rib cage and chest slightly elevate. Creating space in your body for a deeper breath. And start to watch the rise and fall of your breath. Begin to purposefully slow down its speed. And deepen the origin of your inhalation. Take a few more rounds rounds of breath here, just settling into the rhythm that is going to help you coordinate your movement this morning. And once you feel settled in that breath, gently float your eyes open, taking a moment to adjust to the light in your space. And we're going to start this morning with a lower back release. You can unfold your legs. Take your feet out in front of you with your knees slightly bent and your feet about hip width apart. Hold on to the back of your calves or your ankles and inhale, sit up tall. And exhale, drape your upper body right over the thighs, not falling through the legs like tortoise pose. Just finding contact here, rib cage to the thighs. And I'm holding on to the balls of my feet. Your hands can be anywhere. And then from this position, we're going to get into the hamstrings a little bit. Keep your left leg exactly like it is. Lift the toes of your right foot so that just your heel is on your mat, and start to slide your heel forward, just seeing how far you can go. Maybe straightening the leg or maybe just extending a little bit more. Left knee is still bent, folding forward. If you're able to straighten the right leg, energize the front side of it. Toes point upward, quads are engaged, just getting into the hamstrings. Good. The next time you exhale, drag that heel back in so that the right knee is now bent, just like the left. And take the other side. I'm going to lift the toes of the left foot, so just my heel digs into the floor, and slowly slide that heel forward, just finding the limit of your hamstrings this morning. Staying in the fold so your lower back is lengthening, and breathing here with whatever level of hamstring stretch you can create. Good. All right, leave the leg as it is. Inhale and rise up. You're going to take your right knee now out to the side, setting up for Shavasana. And then we're going to take the open hip variation. So your straight left leg, you're going to now open it widely out to the side. So your pelvis is going to face forward here. So we're going to start with a side bend. Energize the straight leg. Toes point up, quads are active. Your left hand can come inside of the leg. You're going to rotate your rib cage to the right, and then raise your right arm up. Inhale. And then exhale, lean over toward the straight leg. Should be getting a good hamstring stretch on the inside of the thigh, while also right side body lengthening here. Keep your right hip grounded and the right knee opening toward the floor. And the next time you inhale, rise back up, and exhale, release that arm. Just help bend this knee. We're going to switch sides. Open the right leg out to the side, folding the left heel in toward your pelvis, sitting up nice and tall. Good. Activate the straight leg. Right hand comes down just inside of it. You're rotating your abdomen and ribcage to the left. Then raise your left arm up. Inhale. Exhale, start to side bend. Good, nice, deep, slow breath. And on an inhalation breath, rise back up. Exhale and release. Good. All right, let's come out of this position and onto the mat in table pose. You can clear aside any props you might have been using. Excuse me, maybe have blocks nearby. We'll probably end up using them. And let's really claw the mat here, spreading the fingers widely, grounding down through every knuckle, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. We'll come through a few rounds of spinal waves. Inhaling to begin, lifting your tail, chest, and chin, and squeezing the shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, tuck, rounding everything as you push the floor, spread the shoulder blades apart. Again, inhale. And exhale. Moving through these two directions at the speed of your own breath. And then on your next exhalation, let's add a little lift of the knees to engage the abdominals. So in that rounded position, hover the knees 1 inch off the ground, and then release them for your next inhalation. And again, exhale, tuck it around, contract, and hover the knees. 2 more of those knees down. Inhale. Exhale, round, push the floor, hover the knees. Last one, knees down. Inhale to the arch position. Exhale, tuck the tail around, hover the knees, and stay this time. Hovering table pose, tailbone is tucking toward the bottom of the floor, abdominal wall is fired up, strong straight arms. 3 more breaths. Good, exhale, place the knees down and straighten the spine. Good, you can come up on the fingertips or your blocks. Now let's lunge the right foot forward in between the hands. Slide the left knee down and back, pointing those toes. Once you've established your low lunge here, let's inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, lifting the rib cage, and now stretching the abdominal wall, opening that front line. One more deep breath in. Exhale and release. Tuck your back toes under and lift the back knee nice and high, straighten the leg. Look at your back foot and hop it a few inches closer to the front of your mat, and then press your hips back, folding forward for pyramid pose. Trying to straighten now through your right leg. Your back heel should be grounded to the floor, feeling that connection. And your right hip is moving toward the back of your mat, keeping your pelvis square. On your next breath in, lift your head and chest. Exhale, bend your front knee and step forward. Feet are hip width apart. Take your hands to the shins. Inhale, flat back. Just noticing the difference between the right and left side. And exhale, fold forward over both of your legs. Take a few breaths here as you root down through your feet. Good. From here, bend the knees deeply so you can plant your palms on the floor and walk back to plank pose, upward push-up position. Good. Press firmly down through your palms. Feel your tailbone tuck toward your heels slightly so that you firm up the lower abdominals. Steady your breath here. Three more. With your last breath out, slowly lower your body to your mat. Once you're there, point your toes. Slide your hands just a little farther back and squeeze the shoulders and elbows together. We're going to inhale to a low cobra, low enough so that when you hold here, you can hover your hands off of the ground and you wouldn't drop down. So just isolating your lumbar muscles. Good. Breathe against the floor, hovering the hands. Work on squeezing the elbows and shoulders back. Good. Place the palms back down, and then inhale, push through them, and come into a higher cobra, lifting more of your abdomen off the ground, but keeping the elbows bent and the shoulder blades down the back. Good. Active energy through the legs. Squeeze your quads, press through the tops of the feet. And on an exhalation, roll down, forehead to the floor. Tuck your toes and inhale, press up to your hands and knees. Point your toes and exhale, child's pose. Sitting the hips to the heels and letting your arms soften here. Let's take a few breaths. Good. When you're ready to take all of that for the other side, let's come on back into table pose. You can use blocks or just be on the fingertips so your wrists get a break. And step the left foot in between the hands and walk your right knee down and back so you have a low position in the pelvis, pointing those toes. On an inhalation breath, rise up, crescent lunge, lifting the arms, elevating the rib cage and the chest. One more breath in. Exhale, let it go. Tuck your back toes under and lift that knee nice and high, straightening the leg. And then we're gonna hop the foot a few inches closer, hips pressed toward the back of the mat, rooting that back heel down to the floor as we straighten through both legs. Pyramid pose. Let your head be heavy so the back of the neck lengthens as you try and bring your upper body in contact with the front of the left thigh. The next time you inhale, lift the head and chest, flat back. Exhale, bend the knee and step to the front of the mat, folding forward over both of your legs. Uttanasana. Good. Root equally through both of your feet. And in this position, feel like you're going to try to slide your feet wider apart. They're not actually going to move, but that energy is going to help widen the back of the hips. Turn on your outer hip flexors. Good. From this position, hands to shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, palms to the floor. Step to plank pose again. Let's take 5 breaths here. Engage the core, tucking the tailbone as you push through your palms. Two more. And with your last breath out, bend your elbows back and slowly lower your body to the floor. Good. Point your toes. Once you're here, slide your hands a little further back, engage the shoulders, and then lift your chest up just high enough so that you can hold this position and hover your hands 1 inch off the ground. Breathing here. Feel that strong energy in your lower back. Good. Place the palms on the mat again. Press through them as you engage your legs more and come to a higher cobra. Second time through this. Rib cage lifts higher, shoulders are low, elbows are hugging the floating ribs. Good. Use your legs more now that we're higher. Squeeze the quads, squeeze the glutes, really protecting the lower back. The next time you exhale, roll your body down. Tuck the toes. Inhale, push up to the hands and knees. Exhale, point the toes right into child's pose again. Bring your hands a little closer so your elbows and shoulders soften. And come back to that slower, mindful breath. You're just gradually building intensity this morning. Notice how your body feels right now. And then we're going to start adding on a little more dynamic movement using the sun salutation as a foundation. From here, when you're ready, let's come on up and find downward facing dog. Plant the palms shoulder width apart with wide spread fingers, hips to the heels as you press back and then lift up. Adjusting your feet hip width apart. Good. Once you've settled in here, just a couple of alignment points to think of. Your outer upper arms, so the edge of your triceps. Think of spinning those toward the floor so that you're kind of wrapping the upper arms. And then really forward tilt to your pelvis, like you're trying to stick the point of your tailbone up toward the ceiling. And that might require some bending of the knees. On your next breath in, look forward. As you breathe out, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, forward fold. Coming to stand this time. Inhale, open the arms, rise all the way up. And exhale, release arms to your sides. So we're going to come through one round of traditional Sun Series A before we start taking some variations. So from mountain pose, on an inhalation breath, reach the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Take one breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, you can take the low or the high Cobra. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push up to the knees. Exhale, hips to heels, and then lift, finding downward facing dog. Good, settle into your breath. One more breath in, looking forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, release. We're going to start this round with a side bend. Keep your right arm by your side and tuck your tailbone toward your heels. Inhale, the left arm up. Exhale, lean over to the right. Feel your hips shift to the left, countering the upper body. Continue to draw your tailbone down toward your heels. The next time you inhale, straighten the body and reach up through both arms. Exhale the left arm to your side as you lean over to the left with your upper body and shift your hips to the right. On your next breath in, straighten the body, reaching up through both arms. Exhale, dive forward and fold. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, bend your knees, step back to plank. This time you can take Cobra or upward facing dog. So let's take one breath in. And exhale, slowly lower to the floor or hover if you're doing up dog. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. You're rolling over the toes if it's up dog, or releasing and pressing up if it's Cobra. Good. Settle into the breath. And then we're going to add a little 3-limb dog here, which we'll be using a little bit later on to get into standing poses. But for now, we're just going to isolate it. Inhale and raise your right leg up, keeping the hips square. So not allowing a back bend or hip opening here. Good, exhale, return that foot to the floor. Other side, inhale and reach your left leg up. And exhale, place that foot down. Good, look forward, inhale. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, release the arms. So we're going to build on top of that. Starting again with that side bend. Tailbone tucking down, right arm by your side. Inhale, raise the left arm. Exhale, side bend. Upper body goes right, hips go left. On your next breath in, straighten the body, reaching through both arms. Exhale, left arm down. Upper body's going left, hips are going right. Inhale, straighten, reach through both arms. Exhale, dive forward, dropping the head. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, step to plank. Again, you've got Cobra or up dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, make your way to down dog. Take a moment to settle into the pose there. And then we're gonna raise the right leg up into the air. Inhale. Exhale, come forward to plank and hug the right knee up into your chest. Okay, let's do that again. Inhale, shift back, three-legged dog. Exhale, forward to plank, right knee to the chest. One more time. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to chest in plank, hover here, and then step that foot in between the hands. Good, come up on your fingertips, back knees lifted, you're in a high lunge. Try and lengthen your upper back. Feel your chest move forward in space. Good, from here, lay your back heel to the floor, preparing for warrior two. And then inhale, rise up, right arm forward, left arm back. Good, shoulder blades squeeze together as your wrists reach apart. Feel your front knee widen, drawing that hip under and back. One more breath in. Exhale, hands back to the floor on either side of the foot. Lift your back heel so you're in your lunge. We're gonna return to that three-legged dog. Palms down, step up and back, raising the right leg. Good, exhale, put that foot down. Down dog or child's pose if you need a moment. And then we'll take that sequence for the other side. Raise your left leg up, three-limb dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, shift forward like plank. Bring the left knee up into your chest. Two more. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, plank with the left knee to the chest. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, plank, knee to chest. Hover for a moment. And then step that foot in between the hands. Find your high lunge. Feel your chest move forward, lengthening your upper back. Right, that knee hovering is a really rounded position, so counter that in your spine here first. Good, from here, lay your back heel to the floor, opening that hip, and come on up to warrior two. Good, nice deep bend in the front knee. Feel that thigh bone widen, and that hip scoop under and back. Good, squeeze the shoulder blades together, reach the wrists apart, active energy through the arms. Last breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor. Lift your back heel so you're in this lunge again. And we're returning to three-legged dog. Hands down. Lift that leg up and back. And then foot to the floor. Good. Take a few rounds of breath here or put the knees down for child's pose. Just finishing this cycle. The next time you inhale, look forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, open the arms, rise up. Exhale, release. Good, we've got time to go through that one more time. We're gonna add extended side angle pose. So you might want your blocks to be able to put a hand down if doing that with the on the floor isn't comfortable. All right, so last time here, starting with our side bend, tailbone tucking. Right arm to your side, inhale the left arm up. Exhale, side bend. Legs are active. On the inhalation, body straightens, both arms reach up. Exhale, left arm down. Lean over to the left. Hips shift to the right. On an inhalation, straighten the body, reach up through both arms. Let's bend the knees and add chair pose. Exhale, sit way back. In this pose too, feel like you're trying to spread your feet wider apart. They're not going to move, but that action is going to fire up your outer hips and glutes. The next time you exhale, dive forward, releasing the pose. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, step to plank. Take one breath in. Exhale, slowly lower in preparation for your back bend of choice. Inhale to Cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good, so we've got 3 of these movements in plank, working on core strength. Raise your right leg up, 3-limb dog. Exhale, shift to plank, bringing the nose to your chest, or excuse me, the knee to your chest. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, knee to chest in plank, or maybe even knee to nose. Inhale, take it back. Last one, exhale, shift forward, hover for a moment. How close can you get that knee to your upper body? And then step the foot in between the hands. Come up on the fingertips, and now extend your upper back. Counter that rounding. Good, lay your back heel to the floor, opening the hips in preparation for warrior 2, and then come on up. Right arm forward, left arm back. Now let's keep the legs as they are. Take your left hand down to the straight leg. Raise your right arm up, and then exhale, adding a side bend here for reverse warrior 2. Feel your tailbone tuck down, protecting the lumbar. And then on an inhalation, return to warrior 2. Exhale, lean your upper body forward now, as far over the front thigh as you can. And then right hand to the floor or block. Sweep your left arm over your face. Extended side angle pose. If you don't have a block handy, you can always put your right forearm here on your thigh. Let's take 3 more breaths. And then look down at the ground. Exhale, release your hands. Lift your back heel so you're in that lunge. Return to 3-legged dog. Lift up and back. Right leg extends. Exhale, foot to the floor. Pause here or take a moment in child's pose. And then when you're ready, we're taking that for the left side. So from down dog, inhale the left leg up. Exhale, shift forward, knee to chest. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to chest in plank. Last one, inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to chest, hover for a moment, and then step the foot in between the hands. On the fingertips or blocks, lengthen your spine, chest forward. Good, from this high lunge, ground your back heel to the floor, now opening that right hip. And then when you're ready, rise up, warrior 2. Beautiful. Good, feel your front knee widen to the left, scooping that hip under and back. And then reverse warrior 2, right hand down to the right thigh, left arm up to the ceiling. On an exhalation, gently lean back, keeping the front leg in that deep bend. Tailbone tucking. Good, inhale back to warrior 2. Exhale, lean as far forward over the thigh as you can. Left hand to the floor blocks, right arm sweeps over the face. Extended side angle pose. Good, keep widening that left knee. Try not to let it drift toward the right side of your mat. Good, look down, exhale, right hand to the floor. Lift your back heel, lunge pose. And return to 3-legged dog. Lift that leg up and back. And exhale, foot to the floor, down dog. Take a moment. And then let's all come to child's pose. Bring the knees to the floor. Nice work, everybody. Point the toes. Gently gently sit back onto your heels and soften your upper body. Good. Close your eyes here. Notice your heart rate and your breathing rate right now. Pretty dynamic sequence. I'm definitely sweating and feeling that. Maybe you are too. So just try and slow down your breathing here. So that work is done. Use the exhalation phase of your breath to help bring down your heart rate. The slower you can exhale, the slower your heart will beat. So we're going to counter the intensity and the strength, kind of fiery quality of those standing poses with some nice long held seated and forward bends. We're going to start with pigeon and a forward fold in pigeon. So feel free to use any props that you like to have. We're going to come into this from either down dog, or if you've had enough of that, you can come into it from table pose. We're going to go right leg first. I'm going to come into it from down dog. And I'm going to use that three-limb dog that we've been doing to help get into pigeon. So let's raise the right leg up. Come forward into that plank with the knee to the chest like we've been doing. And then place the knee in between the hands as you slide your left leg back. Before you fold forward, if you can open your right knee a little wider, I usually imagine a 2 o'clock angle, or just wider than your hip bone would be great. Feel free to support that hip with a prop if you like, and then slowly fold forward and down. Just take a moment to let yourself settle in the shape. Pigeon pose one day might be a totally different experience for you than it was the last time you practiced it. So respond to what is going on in your hip right now, and how low is that hip going to allow you to be in your upper body. If the intensity is too high or you can't relax the muscles of your right leg, you might want to bring your upper body a bit away from the floor and prop up a little higher. Wherever you get to here, just try and soften where you can. Let go of effort that you don't need to keep yourself in this shape. When you're ready to come up, lift your head and chest, walk your hands in. Good. So listen carefully from here. If you've got a prop under your right hip, I'd like you to get rid of it. You're going to let yourself lean into your right hip, and then bend your left knee, your back leg, and slide it up so the knee comes to the right foot. So you've got a little kind of triangular shape here. If you can flex the left foot so that inside edge of the arch is on the floor and your toes point out to the long side of your mat, that would be great. And try and sit up as tall as you can. Left butt is off of the floor, right butt is carrying all of your upper body weight. We're going to do a little outer hip flexor strengthening work here. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. This is just so that you don't use your hands. So if you want a different arm position, that's fine. Sit up really tall and lean into your right hip just a little bit. Fire up your left hip and try and lift the knee and the foot up off the floor. Good. See if you can hold it. If you can't, just put it down and repeat it. But if you're comfortable holding it without cramping, try and be here, and then see if you can come out of your right hip a little bit, so you're a little more toward the left side, but without letting it drop. So it's easier the farther over you lean to the right. It's harder the more upright you are. Good, if you've put the knee down, lift it up again, and we're gonna try to bring this leg forward without letting the heel touch the floor. So lean back in space and bring the leg out in front of you. Hover it for a moment, quads are gonna fire up, and then put the foot down. Good, we're gonna adjust. Ooh, actually, this got a little quad cramp. Mountain biking last night. Good, straighten the left leg, and now let's take Shavasana, nose to knee pose. So the right foot's gonna come to the inner left thigh. Take your hands to the floor on either side of the leg and lift yourself up tall. You can certainly use a strap to do this if you want it connected to the foot, or just simply fold forward from here, holding wherever your hands reach. Good, take a few deep breaths. Good, inhale and rise up. Good, from here you can just cross your ankles in front of you, lean forward, putting the hands down so you can step the knees back into table pose. Good, take a moment here, maybe a little spinal waves, or any movement in the hips that might feel good. And then let's return to down dog, unless you're coming into this from table pose. If you're coming into it from down dog, we're going to start like we did earlier in the Sun Series sequence. Raise your left leg up into the air, and then shift forward like plank, bringing the knee into your chest, and then place the knee in between the hands. Slide your right leg back. Good, open the left knee out to the side at a slightly wider angle. You can set up any props underneath your left hip if you want that extra support, and then fold forward and down, any amount. And when you're ready to come out of your forward bend, lift yourself up, walking the hands in. If you have a prop underneath your left hip, get rid of it so that you can lean into your left hip, tilting to the side. Bend your right knee and drag it up so that it nestles to the inside of your left foot, and flex the ankle if you can so that the inside edge of your foot is on the floor and your toes point out to the long edge of your mat. Good, sit up as tall as you can. Your right butt is off the floor, spine or balance. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and keep your chest elevating. Good, when you're ready, we're gonna fire up the outer right hip and glute and try and lift the knee and the ankle. You're holding or repeating it. If it starts to cramp or if it's too intense, just place it down and repeat the action. The farther you lean left, the easier it will be. Good, now we're gonna try and bring the leg forward. Lean your upper body back to counter this action, leg out in front of you. Hover here with the leg in the air for a moment, and then set it down. Nice work. Adjust your seat so that we're now getting ready for nose to knee pose. And bring my left knee farther out to the side, lining up the foot to the inner right thigh. Sitting up as tall as possible here. Right leg is active. When you're ready, drop your chin, lean forward, and hold anywhere you can reach on your right leg. Good, all right, let's inhale and rise up. And release that leg. Let's bring both legs together, and I'm gonna grab my strap to assist. Seated forward fold. If you've got one, it might be nice. So let both legs extend out in front of you now. Toes point up toward the ceiling. Toss the strap forward around the balls of the feet. And use that connection with straight arms and a tight grip to pull back and help you lift up taller in your spine. Trying to create an L shape here with your upper body and legs. Shoulder blades slide down your back. Take a deep breath in to prepare. And then exhale, start to guide your upper body forward and down. And then you can bring the strap into one hand, reach the other hand forward. If you meet your feet, you can hold both of them instead, or just position your hands farther down on your strap. And nice, broad, expansive breaths here. Feel your waist and your side ribs get wider every time you breathe in. And then feel them contract in toward your center, navel drawing in every time you breathe out. Just inflating and deflating that balloon. And on your next breath in, rise up. Very nice. All right, let's get rid of the strap. We're gonna finish up with my favorite seated twist, which is Matsyendrasana. Let's bend both knees a little bit. Slide your left heel underneath your right thigh so that it rests right outside of the hip. My left knee points forward. Then bring your right foot in and cross it over to the outside of the left knee. So pretty compact position. You want both of your hip joints on the floor. You might need to move away some of your musculature there. If this doesn't work for your knees, then your bottom leg, your left one, can be straight out in front of you. Hug your right knee up and in close to you, and then let's bring the knee into the bend of your left elbow. Interlace your fingers and pull the fists in toward your ribcage to sit up as tall as you can. Use that grip to help you lift. And then to get more stretch in the glute, feel like you're pushing that knee into your forearm, like you're trying to break the grip, but you're not going to let it happen. Good. Chest is elevated, head is in line over your spine. Maybe some rotation of the neck by turning the chin over your right shoulder. Good. Last breath in. And exhale, unwind. Good. You can take your hands behind you. If you can just do this little flip of the legs, just switch it up, or however you can get there. The right knee is under the left knee. Left knee is lifting up toward you. That foot is on the floor outside the thigh, and you're sitting equally through both of your hips. Good. Bring your left knee into the bend of your right elbow. Clasp your fingers together. Bring your fist toward your chest. Tight grip to lift up as tall as you can. And then feel like you're resisting this grip by pushing the left knee against your forearm to fire up that outer hip and glute stretch. So just a little bit of a different way to use your arms in this pose, and it can change the experience in the shape. Good. Chest is high, head is in line over the spine. Gentle rotation, if you want, for the neck by turning the chin over your left shoulder. Good. Last breath in. And exhale, unwind. Good. Take your hands behind you, unfold the legs. Let's just lean on the palms, let your legs come out, and just wiggle them around a little bit. Just let go of some of that intensity. And then it's time to rest in Shavasana. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable and situated so that you can relax on your back. I'm going to use a folded blanket to support my neck. Make sure that you are comfortable and that anything that you're not using is clear from your body so that you don't have that sensation of a prop touching you that might bring you out mentally from your state of relaxation. Once you get to your reclined posture, gently close your eyes. Just give yourself a few moments to adjust. We didn't do any reclined poses. So this is a big shift for the body right now. We did some forward bending, but from a seated position. So it might take a few moments for your back to find a sense of release here, for the muscles to let go of the effort from the posture practice. So if that means making little shifts or adjustments in your limbs or your shoulders, just go ahead and do that so that your body can really let go. And then let's release our breath, taking one final really deep inhalation through the nose. And out the mouth. Just let your natural breath return to your body. Letting your jaw release. Feeling your tongue and throat settle. Maybe swallowing once or twice if you need to. Just enjoy these few minutes of quiet rest. attention back to your breath. Taking a few deeper breaths as you begin to move in your body. And with as little effort as possible, just roll over to one side, curling up into a fetal pose. Pause there before you get up, just noticing how you feel right now and what this practice did for you today. Make your way back up to a comfortable seat when you're ready, keeping your eyes closed. Continuing to breathe deeply here just to help your body with this transition away from Shavasana. And we'll end our practice chanting Om one time. You can bring the palms together in front of your heart and take a deep breath in. Om. Exhale and gently bow your head, acknowledging yourself for making the time and space to practice today and expressing gratitude to your body. And thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this class. Have a great rest of your day.